Hey, how are you? Good morning, good evening, depending on which part of the world you're listening to me from. It's your girl, Rahab, the farm girl, or Pastor Rahab, or Pastor Ray, depending on what you want to call me. Some call me Pastor Ray, the farm girl. It is well. My name is Rahab Renewed. Today I want to focus on the Olympics, Paris Olympic Games or sports. Which is ongoing actually, but I decided to do this recording on 1st of August, maybe because it's a new month, it's a new season, but I want to get into very intimate matters or deep matters, and I want my listeners to be very keen on what I'm about to say. Now, I have seen glimpses, not all of it, but actually I watched it on the day one, but I was watching it kind of distracted because I was doing so many things. But I noticed there was a lot of gazing, there was a lot of drag shows, drag queens. What actually shocked me, not really shocked me, I was mesmerized, or actually I was like, what's this? Is when they brought a drag king showing his testicles. I don't know if he's a drag king or she's a drag queen. I don't know. But there was a guy on the lineup that was showing his testicles and there were children there. So for me, I was like, okay, why are we exposing our nakedness to our children? The Olympics is such a big thing because it happens once every 4 years and we have everyone or most people glued on their screens. Is it right? How do you edit that? How do you remove that? And yet it's meant to be all inclusive. So are you trying to show us that it's okay for children to see testicles? But I went back to the leadership. I looked at the president of France, and allegedly, his wife is a man. So we have the head of state has married a woman who's a man. And so I wasn't shocked. Once you realize that, I wasn't shocked because according to the story they have told the world or they've portrayed over the media is that the wife was his teacher when he's in school. But everyone or most of us have baby photos, and the baby photos of the wife as a girl are rarely not seen. We don't know people who are in school with her, but we have people who are in school with him, and anyone who has tried to dig into that story has disappeared or has been stopped or has just been followed up with lawsuits and lawsuits. So allegedly the wife of the president is a man. So in short, these are two men running the nation. So when you see them portraying in the Olympics, the drag shows, depictions of the Last Supper, the painting of Da Vinci, which was done in around 1948, around there. This is what I think. A lot of people say that Da Vinci painted Jesus and the 12 disciples. Personally, this is what I'll tell you. Leonardo da Vinci was a prolific painter. He was a really great painter. But that wasn't Jesus. He may have read the story or heard about Jesus and his 12. So he imagined, it's the power of imagination. He imagined and he did that painting for renovations of the church. And he used material or a canvas that can be re-edited over and over. So for me, I always say the painting that's been shown is not the original, but it is something that has been imitated from the original Da Vinci painting. He gave us room to edit. Okay, he did it on material that could be edited on. But it was a form of his imagination of Jesus and the 12 disciples, and he called the painting the Last Supper. That was before Jesus died, before Jesus was betrayed to be crucified, okay? I want to tell you something. When you look at scripture, in Luke 24, 6-7, I don't want to paraphrase it, but it says, he's not here. He has risen. This is after Jesus had died, buried, and now people are going to check on his tomb after they buried him, and they find that his tomb is open, and an angel addresses them and says, Jesus is not here. He is risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you. While he was still with you in Galilee, the Son of Man must be delivered over to the hands of the sinners, be crucified, and on the third day he shall rise again. I also want to go to a scripture that says he was buried. That is 1 Corinthians 15:4. It says that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day according to scriptures. Jesus is alive. Yes, he was betrayed. Yes, he was beaten and whipped. Yes, he was ostracized. Yes, he was crucified. One of the medieval's very shameful deaths. Yes. And all these things, and he was buried on a borrowed tomb. Read your scriptures. He was buried on a borrowed tomb. And on the third day when they went to the tomb, they found that the tombstone had been open. Yeah, it was like a cave form of a tomb, and they would put a very huge stone on the entrance. And then when they went, they found that the stone had been moved. And they were wondering, did they steal his body at night? What really happened? And an angel had to proclaim and say, no, this guy, he told you about it in Galilee, and now he's risen. Jesus conquered death. And these are the last days. And Christians need to be vigilant. The Olympics portrayed a lot of sexuality, a lot of pedophilia-like style, meaning while